Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Lab, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Lily.
Hi, Lily. It is so wonderful to be here with you and all our amazing listeners again today. I'm Henry. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Henry. I have to say, today's topic is one that I feel really strongly about. It is one of those topics that goes beyond just language. It touches something deeper.
Oh, that sounds very meaningful. I am already curious. What are we talking about today, Lily?
Today, we are talking about one of the most common questions in the English language, a question that most people ask every single day, but very few people ask it the right way.
Oh, interesting. Which question is it?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Such a simple question. 3 words. But you were right. There is so much more to it than most people realize.
Exactly, because in English, are you okay is asked hundreds of times every day, but most of the time it is not really a question. It is more of a greeting, a formality, a filler phrase.
Yes, like, how are you? Most people do not actually want to know how you are. They're just saying hello in a different way.
Exactly, and today we are going to learn the difference between asking are you okay as a social habit and asking it as a real, genuine question with real care and real intention behind it.
And we are going to learn all the different ways to ask it, because are you okay is just the beginning. There are so many more expressive and caring ways to check in on someone in English.
Yes, and learning these expressions will make you a much better communicator, not just in English, but in life, because people remember the ones who truly checked in on them.
That is so true. Before we start, everyone please remember to subscribe to our channel, Daily English Lab. Click the like button and share this episode with someone you care about who is learning English. It helps us so much.
It really does. Every share means the world to us. Now, let us start with the basics. Henry, when someone asks you, are you okay, in a casual way, how do you usually respond?
Honestly, I usually just say, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, and move on.
Exactly, and that is the problem. Are you okay has become so automatic that the automatic answer is I am fine, even when you are not fine.
Right. I am fine is almost a reflex in English. Someone asks, are you okay? And before you even think about it, your mouth says, I'm fine, thanks.
Yes, it is a social script, a predictable exchange, question and answer that both people say without really meaning either one.
A social script. That is a great expression. What does it mean exactly?
A social script is a set of expected phrases that people use in certain social situations. They are automatic and predictable, like a script in a movie. Everyone knows their lines and they just say them.
So, are you okay and I am fine are 2 lines from the same social script?
Exactly. And social scripts are useful. They help conversations flow smoothly. They are polite and efficient. But they can also be a barrier. They can prevent real connection from happening.
Because if you always stay in the social script, the conversation never goes deeper. You never find out how someone is really feeling.
Precisely. So how do we break out of the social script? How do we ask, are you okay, in a way that actually invites a real answer?
That is the big question. And I think the first step is tone. The way you say it matters as much as the words themselves.
Yes, tone is everything. If you ask, are you okay, while walking past someone without making eye contact, it is just a greeting. But if you stop, turn toward them, make eye contact, and say, are you okay? The exact same words feel completely different.
The pause makes such a difference. When someone pauses before asking the question, it signals that they are prepared to listen. They're not just asking to be polite. They genuinely want to know.
Exactly. A pause says, I have time for you. I am present. I am here. That is so powerful even before a single word is spoken.
Now let us look at some alternative ways to ask, are you okay? Because sometimes a different phrase opens a door that are you okay cannot.
Yes, let us go through them one by one. The first alternative is, how are you doing? Really?
How are you doing really? The word really makes all the difference there.
Yes, really signals that you are not asking for the automatic answer. You are asking for the honest answer. You are giving the person permission to say something other than fine.
Permission to say something other than fine. That is a beautiful way to put it, because sometimes people just need to feel that it is okay to not be okay.
Exactly. And that one word really creates that safe space. How are you doing really? It is warm, direct, and open.
The second alternative?
The second one is, you seem a little off today. Is everything all right?
You seem a little off. What does off mean in this context?
Off in this context means not quite yourself, not at your normal energy level. Something seems slightly different or not quite right. It is a gentle and observant phrase.
And it is powerful because you are showing the person that you noticed. You were paying attention. You saw that something was different even before they said anything.
Yes. Being seen is one of the most powerful human needs. When someone notices that you are off before you have said a word, it can actually bring tears to your eyes because it means someone was truly watching out for you.
That is so true. Just being noticed, just being seen. It can mean everything on a hard day.
And the follow-up question, is everything all right? Which is softer than, are you okay? All right has a gentler feeling. It gives more space for the person to breathe and answer.
Now, what about when you know for sure that something is wrong? When the person is clearly not okay, and you want to address it directly, but kindly?
Great question. In that situation, you can say, I can see something is on your mind. Do you want to talk about it?
Something is on your mind. That is a very caring phrase. What does it mean?
Something is on your mind means you are preoccupied. You are thinking about something that is bothering you or worrying you. It is sitting in your mind and you cannot fully let it go.
I have had that feeling many times. When something is on your mind, it is hard to be fully present in any conversation.
Yes, and when someone acknowledges that, when they say, I can see something is on your mind, it validates your experience. It says, I see you. I acknowledge that something is happening for you right now.
And then the follow-up, do you want to talk about it, is so important. It offers the conversation without demanding it. It gives the person a choice.
Exactly. Do you want to is a gentle invitation. Not, you should talk about it or you need to talk about it. Just, do you want to? Completely optional. Completely safe.
And that safety is everything. When people feel safe, they open up. When they feel pressured, they shut down.
Perfectly said, Henry. Now, if you are enjoying this episode, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to Daily English Lab. And if you are still listening right now, comment the words, "Are you okay?" below. We want to see how many of you are here with us today.
Yes, please comment. It means so much to us. Now, let us continue. What are some more ways to check in on someone in English?
The next phrase is, I just wanted to check in on you. How are you holding up?
Check in on you. That is a phrase we use a lot in English. What does it mean exactly?
To check in on someone means to reach out specifically to see how they are doing, not for any other reason. Not to ask a favor, not to make plans, just to see how they are. It shows you were thinking about them.
And how are you holding up is a beautiful variation of are you okay? When do we use it? We use holding up when we know the person is going through a difficult time. It implies that life is hard right now, and you are asking how well they are managing. Are they holding themselves together? Are they coping? So it acknowledges the difficulty right from the start. It does not pretend everything is fine. It says, I know things are hard. How are you managing?
Exactly, and that acknowledgement is so important. When someone is struggling, the worst thing you can do is pretend you do not notice. Acknowledging the difficulty says, I see what you are going through, and I respect it.
That is such wise advice. Now, what about reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while? Maybe a friend you haven't checked in with for some time?
Yes, this is very common. You can say, hey, I have been thinking about you. Just wanted to see how you are getting on.
How you are getting on. That is very British English. What does it mean?
Getting on means managing or progressing. How are you getting on means how are you doing overall? How is everything going for you in general? It is warm and casual and very natural.
And I have been thinking about you at the beginning is so powerful. It tells the person they were in your thoughts. That matters so much.
It really does. And this kind of message, just a simple, hey, I have been thinking about you, can completely change someone's day, especially if they have been feeling invisible or forgotten.
Invisible or forgotten. Those feelings are so real. Sometimes when we're struggling, we withdraw from people and then we feel even more alone.
Yes, and a simple message saying, hey, I have been thinking about you can break through that wall. It reaches through the isolation and reminds someone that they matter.
Now, let us talk about what to say after someone answers your question, because checking in is not just about asking, it is about listening and responding well.
Yes, this is so important. Asking the question is just the beginning. What you do with the answer is what really counts.
So, for example, if someone says, honestly, I have been really struggling lately, what do you say?
The most important thing is to not immediately jump to advice or solutions. The first response should always be empathy. You can say, I am really glad you told me that. That sounds really tough.
I am really glad you told me that. That is such a warm response. Why is it so effective?
Because it thanks the person for their honesty and vulnerability. Opening up to someone takes courage. Saying, I am really glad you told me that, acknowledges that courage. It tells them they were right to trust you.
And that sounds really tough. Not, that must be hard. Not, I know exactly how you feel, but that sounds really tough. Why is this phrasing better?
Because that sounds validates what they said without claiming you know exactly how they feel. You do not know. Everyone's experience is different. So that sounds really tough says, I hear you, and I believe your experience is genuinely difficult, without projecting your own experience onto theirs.
That is such an important distinction. I know how you feel can actually feel dismissive sometimes, because how could you know exactly? But that sounds really tough, says, I am taking what you said seriously.
Exactly. Now, what if someone gives you the automatic answer? They say, I am fine, thanks, even though you can see they are clearly not fine. What do you do?
This happens so often. What do you say?
You can gently push a little. You can say, are you sure? Because you do not seem your usual self.
You do not seem your usual self. That is so kind and observant. What does it mean?
Your usual self means the version of you that I normally see. Your normal energy, your normal smile, your normal way of being. If someone does not seem their usual self, it means something has changed. Something is different, and you noticed.
And by saying it, you give them a second chance to be honest, a second door to walk through if they want to.
Yes. The first, are you okay, they answered automatically. But the second gentle push shows you are not just going through the motions. You actually noticed and you actually care. And often that second push is what opens everything up.
That is such a powerful social skill, knowing when to gently push and when to let it go.
Yes. And if they still say, no, really, I am fine, then you respect that. You can say, okay, but just know I am here if you ever want to talk.
Just know I am here if you ever want to talk. That is such a beautiful exit from the conversation. It plants a seed.
Yes, it plants a seed of availability. It says, I am not going anywhere. When you are ready, I will be here. No pressure, no time limit, just whenever you need.
And that kind of unconditional availability is incredibly rare and incredibly valuable in friendships.
It really is. Now, let us talk about some situations where checking in is especially important. Times when you should definitely ask, are you okay, in a real and genuine way.
Yes, what are some of those situations?
The first one is after a big life change. If someone has recently gone through a breakup, a job loss, a bereavement, or a big move, checking in a few weeks later is so important.
A bereavement. That word means the loss of someone through death. It is a formal but important word to know.
Yes, Bereavement is the state of having lost someone, and it is important to check in not just immediately after the loss, but weeks and months later, because often people feel the grief most deeply after the initial support has faded.
After the initial support has faded. That is so true. When someone loses a loved one, everyone reaches out immediately. But after a few weeks, the messages stop. And that is often when the person feels most alone.
Exactly. So checking in a month later with a simple, "Hey, I have been thinking about you. How are you holding up?" can mean everything at that moment.
What about checking in on a friend who seems to have gone quiet? Someone who used to be very social and present, but has become withdrawn.
Yes, this is such an important signal to notice. When someone who is usually outgoing and communicative suddenly goes quiet, that is often a sign that something is wrong. And the best thing you can do is reach out.
And what do you say in that situation?
You can say, "Hey, I have noticed you have been a bit quiet lately. I just wanted to reach out and say I am thinking of you. No pressure to reply, but I am here if you need me."
No pressure to reply. That phrase is so considerate. It removes any obligation from the person.
Yes, when someone is struggling, the last thing they want is to feel like they owe someone a response. No pressure to reply gives them complete freedom. It says, "I reached out because I care, not because I need anything back."
That is such a mature and caring approach to friendship, giving without expecting anything in return.
Yes, and often the people who need help the most are the ones least likely to ask for it. So reaching out without pressure is the most generous thing you can do.
Now, let us talk about how to respond when someone checks in on you, because sometimes we are the ones who are not okay, and we need to know how to respond honestly in English.
Yes, this is so important because many people do not know how to answer honestly in English beyond "I am fine." So let us learn some real, honest answers.
What if you're having a hard time, but you do not want to go into full detail?
You can say, "Honestly, I have been better, but I'm getting through it."
I have been better. That is such a graceful, honest answer. It admits things are not great without going into detail.
Yes, "I have been better" is a subtle way of saying I am not okay without having to explain everything. And "I am getting through it" adds resilience. It says I am managing. I am not giving up.
What if you do want to open up a little more?
You can say, "Actually, it has been a bit of a rough patch lately, but it is really nice to be asked."
A rough patch. We used that expression before. It means a difficult period of time. Not just one bad day, but a stretch of hard days.
Yes, "I am going through a rough patch" means things have been difficult for a while. It is honest and it is real. And adding, "but it is really nice to be asked," acknowledges the person's kindness. It thanks them for caring.
And what if someone is really struggling and wants to be fully honest?
Then they can say, "To be honest, I have been struggling a bit." It means a lot that you asked.
To be honest. That phrase signals that what follows is the real truth. Not the automatic answer, not the social script, but the genuine feeling.
Yes, to be honest is an important conversational signal. It tells the other person that what you are about to say is real and personal. It invites them to listen more carefully.
And it means a lot that you asked. What a warm and generous thing to say. Even in a moment of vulnerability, you are acknowledging the other person's care.
Yes, because checking in on someone is an act of generosity. And recognizing that generosity, even when you are struggling, strengthens the connection between people.
Now, let us do a complete practice dialogue, a real conversation where someone checks in and the other person responds honestly.
Great idea. I will be the person checking in. You play the person having a hard time. Ready?
Ready.
"Hey, Henry, I have been thinking about you, actually. You seem a little off this week. Is everything all right?"
Oh, yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
"Are you sure? Because you do not seem your usual self. And I just want you to know you can be honest with me.
Honestly, it has been a bit of a rough patch lately. I've had a lot going on and I have not really been sleeping well.
I am really glad you told me that. That sounds really tough. Do you want to talk about it?
Maybe. Not right now, but it means a lot that you asked.
Of course. Just know I am here whenever you are ready. No rush at all.
Thank you. That actually helps more than you know.
That was a beautiful practice dialogue. Let us highlight all the key phrases we used. You seem a little off. Is everything all right? You do not seem your usual self. You can be honest with me. It has been a bit of a rough patch. I am really glad you told me that. That sounds really tough. Do you want to talk about it? Just know I am here whenever you are ready. That actually helps more than you know. Every single one of those phrases is something a native speaker would say in real life. They are warm, natural, and deeply human. Yes, and that last line, that actually helps more than you know. That is one of the most powerful things you can say to someone who reached out to you. It validates their effort. It tells them that checking in mattered, even if you did not say much, even if you did not solve anything. Just being asked helped.
Just being asked helped. That is the whole lesson in 4 words.
Yes, and that last line, that actually helps more than you know. That is one of the most powerful things you can say to someone who reached out to you. It validates their effort. It tells them that checking in mattered, even if you did not say much, even if you did not solve anything. Just being asked helped.
Just being asked helped. That is the whole lesson in 4 words.
It really is. Sometimes people do not need solutions. They don't need advice. They just need someone to notice, someone to pause, someone to ask with real intention. Are you okay?
And now our listeners have all the language they need to be that person for someone in their life.
Yes, in English and in life. Now for our question of the day. We want you to practice right now in the comments section.
Write one phrase from today that you want to use in your next conversation. For example, I am going to use "you do not seem your usual self." Or I want to start saying, "How are you holding up?" instead of "Are you okay?"
We cannot wait to read every single one. Your English and your heart are both growing with every episode.
If this episode meant something to you, please subscribe to Daily English Lab, give this video a big thumbs up, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today.
Because sometimes the most important thing you can do for someone is share a little reminder that it is okay to ask, and it is okay to answer honestly. Thank you so much for being here with us today, everyone.
Keep practicing, keep caring, keep checking in. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. See you in the next episode.